Today on the Extreme Channel, we're looking at Kier, specifically Kier Death's Warbringer. You know, my name's Mr. X, but I should get some type of title after that, like Mr. X, Statue Reviewer, only something really badass. Thanks for tuning into the Extreme Channel. As I said, my name is Mr. X. I'm all about extreme collectibles, and lately we've been looking at Sideshow Collectibles, that's the company, Court of the Dead line. So this is a line that they created internally. They own the rights to it, they own the copyright, and they have a whole bunch of characters. And to continue guys with daily content during the holidays while I travel, I'm filming reviews of all of these statues that I own. Recently, I did Marv right here, or Malavestros. And as I said, today we're looking at Kier, Death's Warbringer. And this is their second version of Kier. They've actually done two of them. And if you like stuff like this, make sure you not only like this video, but you've subscribed to the channel and hit that bell notification because we have some more Court of the Dead stuff coming. So Court of the Dead is all about the underworld and death and things like that. And Kier actually has one of the most interesting stories, which is probably why they did two versions of her. And we'll talk more about that in design. But some background around Kier, she was actually an angel. So she was born as an angel and she had some imperfections, so she was cast out. So death adopted her and kind of turned her into this warrior, almost a Gamora type Thanos-like vibe. While she likes to kill angels, she will also kill other demons. She will do whatever it takes. That's the kind of girl I can get behind, both figuratively and literally. And I was impressed with the first version of her, and then they came out with this second version at a very affordable price we'll talk about during value. So I jumped on the exclusive version. And here she is right now. You see a few of the switch outs we're going to talk about. But it's pretty badass, pretty cool, and I think she flows really well with the entire line. So let's jump right into the extreme review, and the first topic today is going to be the concept of this piece. And what I love about these Court of the Dead pieces is they all work really well next to each other, which you would hope and expect, but that's not always the case. So on this metal type exterior, they have some intricate designs of some angels, kind of paying homage to that. Moving up, you have the rock-like base that you find on all the different pieces. This one is more of a green color than blue that's intermixed in there, while the one we looked at the other day was more of a bluish color, but it does match that base. And here you have some feathers, which is a big theme within the Court of the Dead line, and also a lot of other fictitious characters that have to do with death. So she is standing in what I call a victory pose. Not only does she have a magnificent victory pose and she is armored out, but she has blood splattered all over her. I assume that's blood, or that may be her natural skin color. I'm not sure. I hope it's her natural skin color, because if so, the paint and sculpt on the blood aren't done very well. She's wielding a sword in her right hand, fully armored up. She has a mixed media skirt covering her no-no square, as my children call it. And then as you move up, she has armor around her most precious asset, her chest. The rest of her can be damaged, but not the chest. Her hair is flowing in the wind, and she is screaming in victory while she is holding a head. Here you see her holding a demon head, and there are some switch-out options we're going to talk about with the exclusive version, which is what this one is. So I think this is magnificent. It captures that storyline of the character, that she's a warrior. She's badass. She's willing to kill anybody. She's armored out. One other really cool thing you'll see on the back, her wings from an angel were actually torn off. I really love this piece. This could be my favorite piece in the line, believe it or not. There's some other good things we're actually going to talk about, but I think the concept is awesome. It's a 5 out of 5 on the concept. Really well done. It's cool they decided to remake a character, and we're going to remake her really well. Now, design on her. I really like this piece because it doesn't take up a lot of space. It's been a while since I've unboxed her. I think I got her 1 or 2 years ago, but let's measure her. So holding up the head, the highest point on that is about 22 inches. The diameter of the base is about 9 inches or so. And then of course her sword hangs off about 8 inches more, but you can accommodate that pretty easily. Now you see some other things on here. Let's talk about some display options we have. So all of them, both the collectors and the exclusive, come with this option right here where she is holding a switch out head. This is an angel, and I think it's pretty cool when you know the storyline, but also equally cool on the exclusive version, she's holding a demon head that looks badass. So as you see, I kind of put the angel head below, kind of display both. Now you see a stand here for a mask. You can display it as I have it right here. Check it out, where she has no mask actually on her, but the mask is also magnetized, so you can place it right on her. And I think this looks kind of goofy, but they did this with a few of their other characters as well. As I said, there is some mixed media. When we say mixed media, we mean fabric type elements. There's some rope and cloth right here. I'm never a fan of that, but honestly, it doesn't look too bad on this. No other issues regarding assembly or display or anything like that. So I think the design's pretty damn cool. They give you a lot of different options. It doesn't take up too much space. This is what we call premium format or 1/4 scale. So I give the design a 4 out of 5 as well. Really well done. Now, talking about the paint and sculpt on this, it's kind of interesting, and I'll just leave it at that. Some parts are good, some parts are bad, but we'll dive in with a video review here and check it out. All right, first thing I actually want to start with the angel head because it is done fantastically. I love this. She destroyed an angel. Very cool, a lot of detail on this. One of the things you're going to see throughout is it has a lot of cool detail, but it almost looks a little sloppy to me. And I don't know how best to verbalize that, but almost like too much going on maybe. Maybe that's it, but still some pretty cool features on that. And we'll look at the devil head. But here's that outer base I was talking about. Very cool, the angelic symbols on the bottom. It doesn't look like real metal, so I think that's a little bit of a miss. You can definitely tell that it's polystone. Here are the rocks. Rocks look okay. I wish they would have stuck more to that blue color, and I bet you they were intending to, but when you have different factories at different periods of time actually painting and sculpting stuff, this is the issues you run into. The feathers, again, I need to read more about their Court of the Dead series to see where this plays in, but they look okay. I would have rather they went without them. Now on Kier, let's look at her armor first. Her armor's kind of messy, and I apologize for the lighting right here, but it's just kind of messy. It doesn't look well defined. I almost wish there was a little bit more differentiation. Her torso looks good, and not just because she's stacked, but I like the Court of the Dead symbol on the front. There's some cool detail in there, but look, again, looks a little plasticky, and even right here, this is kind of like a bone metallic armor kind of melded here. It just looks messy to me, almost like it was an afterthought. The blade looks good. It is not metal. Kind of a heads up on that. Now look at Kier here. This is what I was talking about. I don't know if this is supposed to be blood spatter or just the natural tone of her skin. If it's supposed to be blood splatter, it's done horribly. It doesn't look good, and I almost feel like it's part of her skin. Maybe she was bathing in blood, who knows, because it's all red down here and it's a different color of red. So I think that's definitely a big miss. I don't mind the color on Kier herself. It's almost like this translucent blue paint. Little bit of a weird mess up on the hair here. The differentiation in the hair, kind of a blob to me. Could have been better. It's not bad, don't get me wrong. I'm kind of picking this piece apart. I like the braids. They look really good. Here's the mixed media again. It doesn't look bad. I like how it's torn up, really shows her warrior aspect of her. I hope the leather straps will hold up over time. Here's the devil face, very cool looking. I like the angel and devil pretty equally actually, or the demon. Now here's her portrait. I love her portrait. I think they did a great job. I like her blued out eyes, a little bit different color. You don't know if these are tattoos or blood flowing down her chin. I kind of think it's blood of some type. The inside of the mouth, they could use a little bit more moist effect, but it's very scary. I really like that. You know, they took her, you can almost see some type of beauty to it, but made her very fierce and scary. So I think that was accomplished really well. So as I said, just some stuff that I really like and some stuff I'm just kind of scratching my head on. Like even the horns on the devil here look fantastic. And I like how all the pieces just have a ton of skulls all over. So I'm going to kind of rate these together. I'm a little bit disappointed in some areas, and as you saw, some areas I think are done really well. I think for both the paint and sculpt, we'll group them together this time. I think it's a 3 out of 5. They're very good, but they're nothing exceptional. And the thing about that is I think a concept can actually overcome some of those, and I think it did on this statue, especially when you consider the price for this. This retailed right around $480. That's it. That's really cheap for a 1/4 scale piece, and they only made 1,500 of them. 1,000 are the collector's edition, and then 500 are the exclusive that I have. And right now, you can actually get them cheaper on Sideshow. I think they have like a $40 off when I'm actually filming this. I don't know if they do anymore. And if you're watching this review and you decide to buy it because of this review, I don't want a referral link or anything. Just make sure you're subscribed to the channel. That's all I ask. And maybe share this video to show your friends what you're gonna buy. So I think that value is excellent. Now you got to keep in mind though, they did make an original version of her, so they have two versions of her. And for some reason, these Court of the Dead pieces don't seem to sell very well. So the value is just a 3 out of 5 for those reasons. So final category, does this statue have the X factor? Is it a 5 out of 5 statue? It's not. There's definitely some paint and sculpt issues left wanting, and it's such an obscure character. I can't in right mind give it a 5 out of 5. But I really like it. I'm going to give it a 4 out of 5. It's a very, very cool piece. I'm glad to have her in the collection. And she was probably the one I was least excited to get, and it ended up being one of my favorites. So today, throw that down in the comments below. Did you have a statue you weren't that excited to get, and then it became one of your favorites? Also, check out some of these other pieces by Sideshow Collectibles. And again, if you haven't hit that subscribe button, hit that Mr. X logo because we drop daily content here. Take care.